A very good evening to everyone, and welcome to all the participants. And our today's speaker, CA Shiv Magar, Sir, and moderator, CA Avnish Gupta, ma'am. To one another series of Run 100, Series 52. Our today's topic is the role of self awareness in ethical decision making for CAs. So let's begin this session. I would like to hand over the session to our moderator, CA Avinisha, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us for today's session of the Run at the Rate 100 webinar series, an initiative by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India Board of Operations to celebrate excellence, ignite insight, and empower the next generation of finance professionals. Let me introduce you to our chairman, BOS Operations, CA Dr. Rohit Ruatia. C. Dr. Rohit Ruatia is an iconic Central Council member of ICAI and currently serving as chairman of the BOS operations. Renowned for his visionary leadership, he holds the distinction of being one of the youngest ever managing committee member, regional council member, and central council member in ICAI's history. He has also contributed for major initiatives for inclusion of ICAI's name in Guinness World Record for the larger career counseling session. He has led impactful programs like Practice Ki Pathshala and the residential training for new COP holders. As chairman, he continues to shape policy and methods of practice for CA profession and the aspiring students respectively. Dedicated to students' empowerment, he is committed to modernizing CA education through digital platform, innovative learning methods, and industry-related training, making him a key force in redefining the future of CA profession. Let me give you a brief introduction about our Vice Chairman, BOS Operation, C.A. Sanjeev Sanghi sir as well. C.A. Sanjeev Sanghi, a seasoned chartered accountant with over 26 years of experience, currently serving as the Vice Chairman of BOS Operations, ICAI. He is a Central Council member. He is widely respected for his leadership in digital transformation, capacity building, and professional development. As a capable chartered accountant, he led impactful initiatives like Udan and the Voice of Diamonds. He has actively contributed to various ICIS committees and hold key positions in professionals and social organizations. Again, known for his visionary approach, he is committed to empowering young professionals like us, enhancing auditor ethics, and strengthening ICA's global presence through innovation and inclusive growth. So let me come back again to the today's session. Today's session is an exciting one, a truly essential skill in the modern financial world. The topic is the role of self-awareness in ethical decision making for CAs. The topic speaks itself that how exciting and important it is. To lead us into this artful territory, we are privileged to have with us a distinguished speaker, C.A. Shivraj Magar sir. C.S. Shivraj Magar sir is an experienced chartered accountant with over a decade of expertise in the banking and cooperative sector audits, taxation, GST, internal audit, and system audits. Just name it, and he has a decade of experience on it. He has worked extensively with cooperative banks, credit societies, and financial institutions across Maharashtra, and his firm is empaneled with various statutory government bodies. A scholarship achiever and award winning educator, he is also well versed in PF ESIC compliances, management consultancy, and IT enabled audits. Let's give a warm welcome to CA Shivraj Magar sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. I really express my gratitude towards the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Board of Studies, the Management Committee, the students, and our entire fraternity for giving us an opportunity to express my views and thoughts on a very interesting topic and very close to our heart for every chartered accountant, the role of self-awareness in ethical decision making for CAs. Basically, if we understand the entire world today is rotating around a very important vitamin, and that vitamin is vitamin M. For this, chartered accountant's role becomes very, very important for that vitamin M to be handled very well. And that vitamin M is nothing but money. So wherever the money is there is a kind of greed in the mind of the human beings as natural. But we chartered accountants should have the key to control this greed, to make the society aware that if we utilize this vitamin M properly, we can develop very well the entire mankind. Basically, self awareness, as the topic suggests, is very much crucial for chartered accountants, because we chartered accountants are entirely surrounded by, every now and then, numbers. Numbers play a very important role in a chartered accountant's life. It might be the numbers which a CA student is presenting in the financial statements. It might be the numbers which the CA students might be presenting in his very favorite subjects, that is costing, financial management. And one thing the students have realized, or one thing everybody have realized, that numbers never lie. Numbers never lie. So, but we people, we basically try to interpret them wrongly. And that's where the ethic begins. So 1000 is just a number. So if we make it into monetary value, it becomes rupees 1000. Now, self-awareness makes you to ensure that you are aware about that number very well, and ethics makes you to conclude and come to a decision that how to use this number, that is rupees 1000. So that's where the ethics begin. Many of us might have faced situations where we know that this thing, what we're doing, is right. Whatever we are doing is right. But again, there are some temptations which make us to travel to a different line, which is a very easy one rather than the difficult one. And then we choose that easy line and get in the trap of that unethical practices. So this internal struggle, what is going on, that shall I take the step or shall I don't not to take the step? That internal struggle, the answer for that internal struggle is nothing but self-awareness. Why this self-awareness is important for chartered accountants? What is the reason? Because self-awareness helps to understand one's emotions. Remember, as students, we have many emotions in our mind. They change as per the situation. Our thoughts are running out, their thoughts are overflowing. We become biased when we are making decisions. We have values which have been taught by our parents, by the society for so long and so forth. But those same values, when they are being tested at a particular juncture, those values turn out in a different manner. So, what's the reason? We lose our self awareness criteria. Basically, your emotions, your biasness, and your values, they determine what decisions you are going to take. And hence, self awareness is very, very important for a CA in decision making. If we are not self-aware, if these emotions, biasness, and values, they overtake our conscience, they overtake the things in our mind, ultimately we go and make some wrong decisions which impact our profession. So chartered accountant students should be very much aware about their emotions, about their values, and they should make unbiased decisions. Suppose they are doing articleship. During the course of articleship, whenever you are dealing with any client of your principal, you're providing the service, you must be unbiased. You must have a clear, neutral mindset with the help of the knowledge what you've acquired. Because articleship is application of knowledge. So students, it is very important that you become self-aware. Instead of getting emotional while taking any decision with respect to any customer, you should become self-aware. If suppose some customers may come to you, some client may come to you and they may say to you that, sir, please save our taxes. At any cost, please save our taxes. A common, question asked to any chartered account in any chartered accountant office. But that question has to be analyzed. That question has to be understood properly. Only based on emotions, we cannot pass any irresponsible statement. So students and chartered accountants as well, in general, we practice very important self-awareness and ethical standards. Now, why self-awareness? What's the reason? Like, when we are self-aware, then how ethical decisions require you, to understand yourself, what your emotions. Basically, self-awareness and ethical decisions, they go hand in hand. If you are self-aware, then you are able to take strongly ethical decisions. That's how it goes. A very simple explanation I will give you. As far as ethical decisions are concerned, you need to understand four important parameters of ethical decisions. There is a framework for ethical decisions. Now, this framework talks about what you know about yourself. Another framework talks about what others don't know about you. Number one is what you know about yourself. Second is what others don't know about you. Third is what you don't realize, but others are able to see it. And fourth is undiscovered potential, unconscious biases. Remember, an auditor or a chartered accountant who unconsciously favors a client because of some personal rapport or personal favor, it becomes blind self. So we have to be very much aware about our self, about our hidden self, as we don't know but others are knowing about it. We must also understand the blind self, that we don't realize that we are making some action but others are saying that no, this is wrong. There are a number of examples in the Indian corporate industry where chartered accountants have played a very important role. Our former president of ICI, Dr. T.N. Manoharan sir, who made the Satyam scam, come out of it and give a country a best tech company. He was the main person who gave his knowledge to ensure that the scam is properly revealed on papers, properly set up, and all the measures are taken to tackle such frauds in Indian tech industry. We salute him. He is the one who ensured that what a chartered accountant's role is as far as ethical standards are concerned. We chartered accountants truly oblige him for the service to our community and to the industry as such. We have many examples. We have Sahara, we have Kingfisher. Now, chartered accountants have played a very important role in reporting to the government to ensure that the government becomes aware about the financial scams happening around and there are control measures being done. This happens only when a chartered accountant is self-aware and the chartered accountant is ethically bound. There are ethical standards issued by our institute, ICAI. Remember, whenever a CA student, he goes for stock audit, and in the stock audit, he sees that there are variations in the stock as compared to the ERP system. There, immediately, he should report to the principal. He should become self-aware. Oh, there is something which is falsifying here. I should report to the principal. And principal, with the help of the reports of you as the article assistants, immediately will report to the management. Remember, you are the eyes of the principal. You are the moving structures with the help of which chartered accountants go ahead and take decisions. So students, your role in functioning and delivering your expertise properly is very, 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 very important. Now it becomes sometimes very challenging while practicing ethical decisions. Sometimes the warehouse keeper where you're doing the stock audit might pressurize you that, sir, please don't show these figures in your reports. Sir, try to hide them. It's my mistake. I will give you XYZ. Don't succumb to any kind of temptation. It's your responsibility, it's your moral duty to ensure that you give your best towards the reporting angle. Once you are able to deliver honestly and diligently and ethically your service towards your principal, and the principal with your ethical and self-aware decisions, unbiased decisions, he gives a proper, best, unfair, and unbiased. If there is fairness, if there is unbiasedness, definitely the reports will be applauded. And we are waiting for that. The society is waiting for that. Now, the link between the self-awareness and the ethical decision making is very crucial. We need to understand the steps while we are doing ethical decision making, what stages we are going through. The first and most important is we must recognize what is the ethical issue we are entering into. Like, for example, you are auditing a bank and few transaction in some current account or saving account, they are very suspicious for you. You must immediately report the management there, the principal, that, sir, there are few transactions, there are few entries which are very suspicious and they might create a problem for this banking organization. But you must have evidence for this. Once you have evidence, you become confident that whatever you're reporting the correct. Now, once you locate that problem, you must also try to understand what are the consequences. Suppose, for example, there is a XYZ bank and you have the assignment assignment of concurrent audit of that bank, and you visit the XYZ bank on a monthly basis, daily basis, and when you get to know that the number of staff which are shown on the record are not actually present. So there is a salary deviation. The expenditure is being exaggerated because of this. You must note down immediately the situation, the case, and report to the management, to the principal. That, sir, so and so employees are not present, but still their names are shown in the muster. And this amount, XYZ amount, is being paid to them on monthly basis, irrespective of these people attending that bank, that office. Now you become self-aware, and then your values came into picture that let's be ethically very clear with respect to this. And once the principal explained this to the banking organization, no doubt a chartered accountant becomes the asset for every organization in this manner. Now, it becomes very, courageous whenever we are taking any decisions by revealing or becoming a whistleblower. It becomes very courageous for us because we have fear in the mind. What if happens to me? See, remember, for these chartered accountants, along with the knowledge of academics, along with the knowledge of practice of different acts, I would request that chartered accountant students and CAs in practice and professionals, they should be aware about the legal procedures. Because currently we have the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, we have the Companies Act, we have the Indian Contract Act. Now these acts should be well versed, well aware by the chartered accountant. They should know all the intricacies because that will help in decision making and to understand the consequences. Rationality is very, very important. And the fear from the mind will go only when you will have the knowledge of how you can control the consequences. So students, legal awareness for every chartered accountant student is very, very important. Sometimes the chartered accountants are called in judiciary to express their views in contention with some cases. Chartered accountants, sometimes they are being advised to put forth their views in arbitration process in high courts, supreme courts, tribunals. So we should be very fearless in our mind to present our views very strongly. Because we are self-aware about the incident and we are ethically very clear what to do ahead, it becomes very crystal clear for us and very smooth for us that to execute our services properly. There might be situations in the life of a chartered accountant student that a customer might or a client might pressurize you to overlook some of the non-compliances. Now, there are non-compliances with respect to Income Tax Act. There are non-compliances with respect to Companies Act. There are non-compliances with respect to EPF Act, ESIC Act. The client might pressurize, the management might pressurize to ignore such issues so that he can avoid the penalties. Now, it might happen that client is very big in size of turnover. It might be a fear in the mind that what if not following the instructions I might lose the customer. But it is very clear, it's my appeal to everyone that we must uphold professional independence, even at the cost of losing the client. Irrespective of whatever the client says, you must uphold professional independence and you must uphold the utmost ethical standards maintained and practiced by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, because your signature stands a credibility in the society. No doubt there will be a fear in the mind, because we are all human beings. Fear comes because of some action being done. But if that action is being done in self awareness and ethically, the fear can go just in a wave of an ocean. Just you need to be confident enough what next step you have to do. You must report ethically in such cases. Now, we have many situations wherein at the initial stage, we cannot recognize what is there in the client's mind, what is there in the management's mind while appointing a chartered accountant. Let's take an example. There is an ex private limited company, and that ex private limited company has gone bankrupt due to its mismanagement, financial mismanagement. The statutory auditor or the chartered accountant of that company, if he is reporting properly to the government with respect to the malpractices or with respect to the mismanagement done by that company, it is very simple that you are following ethical standards. Reporting is very important. Now, let's understand like what is, the real world dilemma comes in our mind when we are following the self-awareness path and also ensuring that there is an ethical decision making. As professionals, we have ethics that we cannot audit our relative's company. It's very clear. Professionally, we have limitations to do tax audits. Professionally, we have limitations not to advertise anywhere in the market. As practicing chartered accountants, as CAs, we cannot advertise. Now, this dilemma will come to the mind that this way or that way, I will ensure that can we bypass the process? Now, this bypassing of these ethical standards, what is being already set by the institute, that is dangerous. And that will lead you to disciplinary action by ICAI. So many professionals who bypass these ethical standards, they have to face disciplinary actions by ICAI. So before taking any decision, hence this session is there, that are you self-aware about what decisions you are taking and whether the decisions are ethical. If at any point of time you get a client who tells you that, sir, I want to take a bank loan, can you adjust my balance sheet as per the banking parlance so that I will get the loan from the bank? Now, the term adjust is used every now and then in the society. Again, your role here is very important. You must be self-aware that we are going to report true and fair figures. Now it has been converted into true and correct figures in the financial statements of that client, and that we have to report to the banking channel. We cannot exaggerate the figures. Although there is pressure of the client, please ensure that you uphold professional independence. And also ensure a very important line, that proper communication between you as a professional and the client should be there. And that communication is nothing but the engagement letter, in which all the terms and the conditions are crystal clear before engaging into such assignments. And wherever you feel that you are getting a smell of financial mismanagement or wrongdoing or unfair practices, immediately try to report to the client and to the respective authorities who are in charge. That is very important. And we must understand one thing, that if we were in that position of taking some decisions, what our inner thoughts would have told us, whether we should go ahead and take the decision or whether we should stop. We should stop and not succumb to the temptation. Definitely, you know, our chartered accountant, Dr. T.N. Manoharanji, has set an example for us, that he displayed to the corporate industry that if there are lack of ethical standards, frauds like Satyam scandal will happen in India. They have given a clear-cut picture, and right now the company is functioning again properly because of the proper guidance of Dr. T.N. Manoharanji. So we require chartered accountants like these professionals who who play a role of torch bearers. Now, CA students might ask me a question that, sir, what are the tools for self-awareness as future CAs? How shall we develop self-awareness? It's very simple. Basically, you need to put some energy, efforts in daily reflection. Reflecting upon yourself, that at the end of the day, whether I have done my actions correctly or wrong, whether I have followed my code of ethics. If you are into still dilemma, although after doing some actions, you can talk to your peers, your colleagues, senior chartered accountants who have tremendous experience. Now, through these interactions, one will be much more aware that the decisions which one is taking, whether it is correct, and that will help to follow ethical path. At any point of time, you have some trouble, you have some dilemma, please ensure you talk to your peers rather than any kind of self-introspection. Some kind of introvert people are there who talk to themselves and they don't come to a proper conclusion. There are solutions in the society. There are problems, but for those problems, the solutions are also there. So don't worry about it, because problems are part of life. Problems, they are the way of life. But for every problem, there is a solution. So if the fear from the mind is removed, if the clarity of thoughts is there, if the unbiasedness is there, then decisions will be definitely ethical and properly presented. The next step, what students can do for self-awareness is continuous learning. As I told you, that chartered accountant students should learn different laws. They should learn the recent judgments. They should understand what are the recent changes, amendments in the GST Act, in the Income Tax Act, in the corporate laws, in the contract acts, which are the landmark judgments happening around, so that will help in proper decision making. So continuous learning is very, very important. There are some seminars conducted by, like these seminars, webinar conducted by ICA to help students understand different issues which are crossing across this finance world. So students have to participate, students have to express their knowledge, and students have to ask questions which are there in their mind. They should explore things. During the course of articleship, students should ask questions to the principal that, sir, I'm unable to solve this issue. Could you please help me out? Our colleagues, professional chartered accountants, are always there to help students from their problems. If any income tax notices came, suppose for example, a ex customer has received a notice under section 148, then what a CA student has to do? He, number one, he has to refer the Income Tax Act, plus he has to consult, he has to take advice of his principal for what are the submissions to be made on this basis. So he became self-aware through this process, and he can take ethical decisions based on the facts and figures what are available with him. So continuous learning is very, very important to make a proper decision. Now, journaling, that means in CA profession, in CA students' life, it is very important that they should maintain a journal. They should maintain that what kind of work they have done today. It might be accounting, it might be auditing, it might be taxation, it might be management consultation. So if a certain kind of work is completed by them, they should journal them properly. What are the learning aspects what they've done? What the inferences they are drawn? And then what decisions they have taken? And whether those decisions correlate with the ethical standards of ICA. If you do this, if you practice this well, I think in future as professionals, you will be one of the torch bearers for ICA. So it's very, very important that you become self-aware by yourself. Again, it's important that you maintain your health also, because for getting clear thoughts, for getting some proper decisions, you must have proper health. Proper health will give you proper thoughts. And for that, exercise is important, proper food is important, proper friend circle is important, sleeping on time is important. So this again will help you for self-awareness. This will increase your self-awareness. Concentrate on the breathing techniques, concentrate on meditation, try to do meditation. So these techniques ultimately help you to do better decisions. If you yourself are confused what to do, what not to do, how can you give decisions to the society? That's a big question. And because of this, you must follow some rational practices. Journaling, you must understand, how to do yourself exercise, meditation, eat food properly, ensuring that you learn continuously, attend seminars, conferences, read new books, write articles. ICAI is publishing articles, newsletters. You can present your thoughts on that. You can read the articles from those particular newsletter journals which are published every month. So that will again help you for becoming self-aware of the recent issues. It might be about forensic audit, it might be about system audit, it might be about the carbon credits, it might be about the artificial intelligence. So how these things are going to come? These things are going to come only because when you start reading things, when you explore yourself. That's very, very important. Now, there are ethical frameworks which are issued by ICA, which are set up by the ICA Code of Ethics. You can please refer that. So integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, and professional behavior. These all parameters are the standing pillars for any successful professionals. Integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, and professional behavior. You yourself try to introspect that whether I am struggling with any of these points. If you feel that you're struggling of any of these points, then you need to again practice, overcome that weakness into strength. If you feel that I'm not confident, why you're not confident? Only because you're not self-aware. You don't have that sufficient knowledge, or you have not taken experience. So take experience, take knowledge. If you feel that, the integrity is being lost, you check out where the integrity is being lost. What's the reason for getting lost of integrity? You must maintain proper confidentiality, and your professional behavior has to be at the highest standard. Now, let's understand, a scenario where, you know, a CFO, you as a chief financial officer are being invited in the company to address to the investors, to address to the investors, stating that the company's financial position is very good. And you know that the financial statements what the company has, they're not correctly presenting the position. So it will be my advice that you need to present to the investors the true and fair picture of the company. So that ethical standard you need to follow. And for this, again, coming back to the point, you need to be self-aware of these situations. It might be a case where CA students might face some difficulties in their career while becoming chartered accountant, that somebody might offer them something, instead not to do that action. But again, remember, don't try to succumb to any kind of temptations in your journey. Currently, there are many professional ethics steps taken by ICA. Most importantly, from 2019 onwards, we have the concept of unique document identification number, which every chartered accountant has to present it while signing any financial statement. Please note that this again comes under ethical standards. It is very important that a chartered accountant, while taking the assignment of any other professional, they should ask for a no objection certificate of that client. So this again comes under ethical standards. A chartered accountant, when reporting about any entity, that reporting has to be very true and fair. One must not get biased while judging or reporting the financial statements of any organization. Now, if one can follow these practices, one can be very much successful in this professional career. There are challenges to come on the way, but to overcome these challenges, we must always stick up to the rope of ethical standards. In practice, you might face clients, you might face society, you might face government authorities, you might face commissioners, deputy commissioners, tribunal judge, high court advocates, judge, Supreme Court advocate, judge, or for that matter, your presentation should be the best as far as your knowledge is concerned about your case. Because chartered accountants are nothing but financial doctors. So it's very, very important that you become self-aware, first of all, as far as the points I have mentioned earlier, so that your duties, your services, wherever you are presenting, your client, your principal, ICA as such, this entire fraternity as such, it becomes very, very much professional. As future chartered accountants, you will not just need to balance the books, you will balance values and trust. Self-awareness is your compass in that journey. It's very, very, very important. Remember, whenever you're walking ahead in life, ethics for you is knowing the difference between what have a right to do and what is not right to do. Always keep in mind that we all chartered accountants, we all professional colleagues are with you at every point of time to help you come out of any problems, challenges, biasness in your mind so that you become much more self-aware. Today's society has become very much demanding as far as finance professionals are concerned. Government looks at you as responsible professionals with whom the nation can develop. Please note that the tagline of ICAI is partner in nation building. We chartered accountants, if we perform our duty properly, diligently, then in the world, our country, India, definitely can become a superpower. And the basic foundation for that, to make it happen, is knowledge. Once you have proper knowledge of an event, of an incident, or of a client, of any problem, then you can solve that issue, you can solve that problem with the knowledge what you've acquired. Don't feel yourself alone in this entire competitive world. ICA will always will be with you for guide as a guiding force. Please note to accept the challenges, do not have fear in the mind, and sail through this entire turbulent ocean. It might happen while signing the financial reports. There might be some doubts in the mind, tolerable and intolerable doubts. That's how the bifurcation goes. So whenever you have some doubts in the mind, I will request you to go through the financial statements once again, to go through the audit once again before signing any reports, so that you become self-aware that you are ethically signing those reports and are confidently enough to present those reports in front of the management and the government authorities as such. I hereby conclude my session saying that our students will definitely become the torch bearers for the days to come, and they will ensure that the flag of ICI is sailing higher and higher in the sky. My best wishes to everyone, and any point of time for any guidance you require, we'll always be there to help you out of any challenges. Thank you, ICAI. Thank you, Board of Studies, and thank you, Madam, Management, and students for attending this small webinar. And I think that few things whichever I've expressed, at least they will be, they have created a self-awareness amongst you and will create a sense of that we have to walk the ethical path in the time to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, C. Shivraj Magar sir, for this insightful and power-packed session. It really helped us a lot. The topic, the role of self-awareness in ethical decision-making for CAs, it was really important for all of us. You've truly shown us that beyond just crunching numbers, it's how we communicate that drives real decisions. To all our participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiastic engagement. We hope this session assists you in a positive manner on the said topic. Let's continue the spirit of learning as part of the Run at the Rate 100 webinar series and take every opportunity to grow as future ready CA professionals. Until next time, take care and keep learning.
Anvisha ma'am, I
Yes.
request you to please put across questions if you have few.
So, you want me to ask any question or anybody else wants to ask?
Please put across the questions to our today's speaker.
Okay. So I would like to ask sir, In what ways can self reflection prevent conflict of interest in audit or tax engagement? Since the dates are of audits and tax are really up to date, and we would like to know.
Okay. As I interpret your question, that self-reflection, okay, as far as the current due dates are concerned of tax audits, chartered accountant number one has to create a checklist, okay, because for every audit, a checklist is very, very important. And working across the checklist and covering all the points as far as the law is concerned, and check out that whether that checklist is exclusively done, and if anything left out, try to make a group discussion amongst your colleagues, and
Right.
please inbuild a concrete checklist so that the entire tax audit is done properly, because there are many amendments as far as the section 44ab is concerned. And currently, as the date is approaching and we have very less time, data crunching might happen. It might be a very big challenge. Second part, apart from preparing for checklist, you must be ready with the systems as well, because systems sometimes they are compatible, they are not compatible with what income tax website portal is there. Sometimes the digital signature doesn't get attached, so that creates a pressure again. And as we know that income tax department has also given us this time a particular freedom that the digital signature of client is not required, they can go with Aadhaar OTP. So we can understand one part is handled by them, let's handle the other part. And
Absolutely.
by and large, we understand that systems definitely bang on sometimes, but then proper time management, proper staff management, and proper work management, this can help for come out of this particular battle, okay, and it will make you more self-aware, and definitely you will have a very good time, okay, through this entire tax audit scenario.
Speaking of self awareness, sir, I would like to ask one more question.
Yes.
How does self awareness support a CA in balancing professional skepticism with professional judgment?
Yes, very important. As I've earlier mentioned, a chartered accountant is not a finished product which has become in one day. Rome was not built in a day. Basically, the grooming of a chartered accountant starts from right from day one, when he takes a decision that I want to be a CA. Now, right from that day, when the journey begins, his grooming from that day, his thought process from that day onwards, his participation in learning from different scenarios makes the ultimate decision to remove the skepticism, so that he is very clear that the decision what he is making is very confident and ethical. Sometimes, sometimes there are temptations, no doubt about it. But then, if our mind is so strong, as if the cat is not running behind the mouse, so we have to be very strong. Although sometimes the cat may make a drama that I will not run behind the mouse, but whenever the best friend comes, it definitely runs. So we have to be very much aware that we should train our mind properly for being unbiased and ensuring that whatever decisions we are making, they are true and fair. Yes.
Right. That's all from my end, sir. It was really nice gathering all
Thank
the
you.
knowledge.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just wanted to know, how does reflecting on the past ethical decisions build strong morale, reasoning for future challenges?
Yes. Past ethical decisions, whatever have been done, they create a highway for future decisions. No doubt about it. Now, the question what you have asked, I'm more inclined towards spirituality. Basically, it's all about the karma philosophy, what we have. That if you do good deeds, definitely good will come out. And if you do bad deeds, bad will come out. So as you reap, so definitely it will come out. So definitely, whatever the past reflections, what you've done in ethics, that past ethics, the entire story of that, the moral of that, that will help you in the future decisions. If suppose today I'm taking a decision to give us X service to my client, and in that X service, I know that the service is ethical, proper. So after 10 years, if somebody is questioning me on that decision of service, what I've given to the client, it will be totally ethical because the source was ethical. The source was very, very true and fair. In future, I will not face any problem. It is very simple in CA profession. If we file an income tax return right now with some wrong information, and then after 10 years, the client receives a notice. It is that some wrong information was filed, so the client has received notice after 10 years. So chartered accountants have to be very alert. Chartered accountants have to be very, very much cautious while taking any decisions, consulting the clients, and reporting to the government authorities, because it has become very much challenging right now. Clients don't give you all information. Basically, it's the experience that they try to hide something. Hence, we are qualifying our reports. The qualification of reports has the birthplace over there itself. The reason is that because we are at a stake of danger point, and they actually push us to a danger point professionally. And to safeguard us, we must ensure that we have the umbrella of qualification. If any point of doubt you have with respect to the ethics, whatever has been done, please try to adhere to the ethical standards of ICA.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was wonderful
Thank you.
session.
Thank
I
you.
hope all the students must have learned ample of knowledge from you. Thank you so much. And I
Thank
would
you.
also like to thank our students for their active participation. And I would also like to thank our chairman and vice chairman for taking this initiative. So please do join this run series every Tuesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to learn and grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv sir. Thank you, Avnisha ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.